Hi everyone, Melissa, Artist in Residence here for Imagine, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a way to create backgrounds using Ink Potion number 9 and fireworks sprays. And I'm going to start with some Bristol smooth cardstock, and I simply put that in a box so my sprays don't go everywhere. And I use Ladybug, fireworks spray, rosebud, Bahama blue, and grape jelly. And then I pull them out and actually smush them onto other cardstock so that I have a nice, beautiful background. And I'll dry those up before starting with the Ink Potion number 9. You can see the beautiful shimmer that you get in this, in these fireworks sprays. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take this stencil and I use a large dauber and I pick up some of the Ink Potion number 9 on the dauber and press it onto the stencil and then use a paper towel to remove some of that ink. And you're going to see when I pick up this stencil I get this really beautiful background with using the Ink Potion number 9 in the fireworks sprays. I love the effect that you get, and you still have the shimmer. Now the second technique I want to show you is a bokeh effect, and I take a large dauber and a small dauber, pick up some of that Ink Potion number 9, and then simply push on the dauber. You don't want to put too much on there, but you push on the dauber and again create this like effect where you kind of have lifting of the ink and you get a beautiful bokeh effect. Now I will say with this one, I'll show you another one that I did here in a second and create a card with the other one I did. I think that when you do this technique, it's important to cross these circles over each other with the dauber, but not to have too much going on in the background, because what can happen is it kind of blends together and you don't get a beautiful bokeh effect. You just kind of have this splotchy effect. So you can see I did this technique a number of times on different card stocks, and now I'm going to go ahead and put those onto cards. Now for the first card that I'm creating here, I used a Whimsy die set called Hand Stitch Nested Rectangles. And then I'm also going to be using a SugarPea Designs stamp set called Kindness Matters. And the first thing I'm going to do is I cut out the frame with the die, and then I'm going to add some tear it tape to the back of the die. And the tear it tape happens to be the perfect width for this rectangle that I cut out. And I like using tear it tape anytime I have a really saturated paper that might be a little a little warped from the wetness of the sprays, because that tear it tape really adheres nicely to that, and it also helps your paper flatten out, and that's why I also go ahead and use it on the back of my card as well. And I'm going to adhere this whole sprayed cardstock and frame to the front of an A2 sized card. And then I'm going to be taking a little bit of vellum to work with the sentiment. Now you won't see me do this in the video, but I take Paradise VersaFine Clair, stamp the kindness on there, and then I also stamp another little sentiment on the on the top of the vellum. But I do heat emboss this with clear embossing powder later, because it does take that VersaFine Clair quite a while to dry on the vellum. Now for the next card, you can see this is the first bokeh technique that I did that I think turned out a little bit better than the second one that I showed you in the video. I cut a heart out using a die that is no longer available, and then I took vellum and simply placed over the stamped U sentiment, kind of to soften that sentiment a little bit. And again, this stamp set's from SugarPea Designs as well, and it's simply called U. And I used the wonderful VersaFine Clair Purple Delight for this card, and you can see how beautiful it stamps on the inside and also on the front of that fireworks spray. Now for the next card, you didn't see me create this one, but I simply used the same technique as I did before with the stencil and the Love Potion number 9. And now I'm just going to ink up some of the same stamps from that U stamp set from SugarPea Designs in the Nocturne VersaFine Clair. And then for my last card, I'm going to use a Celebrate All Things stamp set, again from SugarPea Designs. And this time I'm going to start with Paradise Purple Delight as well as Charming Pink to make a little banner using this stamp set inside the heart. Now I leave the heart on there so that I can kind of see, where these are going to show up within heart die. And then I'm going to take a Faber-Castell pen and simply draw on top of it the little line for the banner and then little bows on the flags from the banner. And then I'll finish this card by adding the Purple Delight VersaFine Clair to the Celebrate stamp set. And that finishes the 4 cards for today using the Imagine Ink Potion number 9 and firework sprays. I hope this gave you a few ideas on the ways that you can use firework sprays. And even if you don't have stencils, you can use the large or small daubers to create a bokeh effect. Join us again on Imagine for more great tutorials and projects.